Hello! In today's video, I'm planning to talk about a little bit of the concept of misogyny and to try to give an alert about how this terrible thing is happening inside the churches. In this video, I am focusing on the roots of misogyny in Christian churches and in the Christian doctrine. It also affects some parts of Jewish or Muslim culture. But I also have videos about the roots of misogyny in the Western culture outside the religious spheres. When the Christian religion was spreading its first roots in the world, the establishment of the Roman Empire, specifically some demographics of this establishment, they launched an attack against Christianity. And they said many things about Christianity. They accused Christians of being licentious and of committing crimes and of hating humanity. We know that those things do not apply to the Christianity properly, but those accusations were not made in vain. We read on the Bible, on the Epistle to the Corinthians, that those things were happening in the churches. So the accusations were not without based on reality. They were based on facts, on things that were happening inside of the first years of the churches. And those things were happening in the churches. Not only the licentiousness, but the hatred of mankind, because of a misunderstanding of concepts that are core concepts to Christianity. We are still in danger of falling into those first errors. We are still in danger of losing the boundaries and going into licentiousness or going into the hatred of mankind. The hatred of mankind is called misanthropy, and misogyny is a species of misanthropy. We know that mankind was created in the image of God, and we know that the first created was Adam. Then Eve was created, and that core doctrine is misunderstood, is distorted into a very dangerous way. When people say that the image of God was imprinted in Adam but not in Eve, just because of the order or the accidents of creation. And this happens also in many other readings of other Bible texts, like the text that says that the women are the glory of man. This misunderstanding causes very different ideas, that in the woman the image of God would be in a different quality, or in a different quantity than the image of God in man. On the beginning of the first classical era, in the first age of Christianity, we had philosophers attributing to the women a cold or passive role in the reproduction of mankind. Supposedly, men would have the hot parts, small incipient homunculus, small little mankinds, little babies inside their loins, and the woman would just be a good place for them to grow, for those homunculus to grow. So from the Aristotelian book about animals up to Thomas Aquinas in the 3rd century, women were seen as having some kind of defect because they had not supposedly the power of reproduction in themselves. They were just passive, useful vessels for this. This difference, this negative difference between man and woman, would set the woman as distant from the form of the perfect man. Therefore, they were seen as inferior to the perfect idea of mankind. Churches misinterpret those ideas and they read those ideas into the Bible because they already have their minds settled that women are biologically and philosophically by nature inferior to men. Then they go to the Bible and they read this concept there, concluding that women need to be under the headship of some men because they lack something. And what they lack, usually the explanation is that they lack rationality and they overflow in emotions for the lack of rationality. This is a misreading of the Bible based on those old concepts that were a completely wrong view of biology. So they justify tyranny by this misinterpretation, seeing that women need to be obedient to someone because they are unable to rule their own lives by themselves. They are saying that the image of God, that's just related to rationality, to be reasonable, to be responsible, directly connected to God. Therefore, they are saying that the image of God in women is deficient in quantity or quality. Because people read the scriptures under this baggage of tradition, they think they found these concepts in the scriptures. So they perpetuate these false ideas in a spiral of hermeneutics that feeds itself. What we need to do is to clean up our minds before going to the scripture. We need to get rid of all those traditional concepts that have no roots in the scriptures and that are detrimental to core doctrines of Christianity, like the idea that all mankind has the same quality and quantity of the image of God. We need to get rid of these preconceived views so we can access the scripture with a clean mind, and we need to clean also the environment where we are. We need to clean up not only our own minds about this, but we need to clean up the ideas in the churches so that people may feel free to re-access the scriptures from a better frame of mind.